Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark. Hello and welcome to another video, and welcome to Helsinki Airport in Finland. This is the main hub for Finnair, and I'm going to be flying them today on their Airbus A350 extra wide body in business class all the way down to Singapore. It should take us about 12 hours. This should be a very interesting overnight flight. Finnair are quite a unique airline, and I'm really looking forward to this one. Come with me and enjoy the video. In the previous video on this channel, you saw me travel from New York to Helsinki aboard Finnair's old Airbus A350. And with a really long layover in Helsinki, my plan was to head to the city and spend my time there. Unfortunately, the weather had other plans. No sooner had I left the airport, I re-entered it and had to recheck my bags. I'm still not used to tagging my own bags, but I haven't lost one this way yet. Before heading to the lounge, I watched the Helsinki airport ground crew clear the runways and taxiways of snow, a remarkable thing to see and quite hypnotic. With the weather so poor, I was pretty glad to be able to get into Finnair's best lounge, the Platinum Wing, which is not a business class lounge as such, but exclusively reserved only for Finnair's and the One World Alliance's top tier customers. Although the window views are not great, this is still one of the world's most awesome and distinctive airport lounges. There are luxurious shower suites, a sauna, and communal cooling off areas. I don't think you want to see me in a sauna, but I did give this a go, and it's one of the most surreal and brilliant airport lounge facilities ever. Shower suites can be booked electronically and are excellently appointed. Someone commented on my previous video that they mistakenly thought that Finnair was a low-cost airline, but boy, you could not be more wrong. I'm happy to declare the Platinum Wing the best European airline lounge I've visited. It's that good. The best bit about the lounge? Well, a full service restaurant of course, with everything available at no charge, and wonderful service staff who are happy to bring course after course of food for me to try for my lunch. Reviewing all of these lounges is a tough job, but someone has to do it. I had over 12 hours in Helsinki airport, and even that's a bit too much time to be hanging around a free full-service restaurant, so here's a bit of the airport. The Moomins are one of Finland's most popular cultural exports, but to be honest, I found them terrifying when I was a kid. There's also a lovely atrium which features scenes of rural Finland. Today's video sponsor is Surfshark, an award-winning VPN or virtual private network. Surfshark is part of my personal travel arsenal for a whole list of reasons. If you're not attracted to the idea of leveraging lower ticket prices or staying safe on public Wi-Fi, maybe the whitelisting facility, industry-leading encryption, and a quick kill switch in case you lose internet might convince you to give it a go. But I find it so annoying when you can't access some content overseas, something Brexit will only make worse for us Brits. But Surfshark can help. Activate the VPN and select an appropriate spoof location, and voila, the content is restored. It's dead easy and costs absolute peanuts too. You'd be mad not to consider it, especially as Surfshark have a special deal for my viewers. Go to surfshark.deals/wingingit for 83% off and 3 extra months for free of Surfshark VPN. Oh, and just one more visit to the lounge to see the enormous macaron mountain they had. I may have sneaked a couple. And then off to board our A350 down to Singapore. It's really strange editing this video. My first ever trip report on this channel was the Finnair A350 when it was brand new and serving the London route. I think it's fair to say the channel's come a long way since then. You'll notice the crew member who greets me at the door is wearing a mask. At this time, when COVID was an emerging issue, Finnair, along with many airlines, didn't mandate mask wearing even among crew, and it was down to personal choice. Also, at this time in the UK and many Western countries, mask wearing was seen as something almost sociopathic to do. That's why I, and almost no other passenger, was wearing one at this time, and you probably weren't either.
Thank you.
This particular A350 has 32 lie-flat business class seats. Some of Finnair's have an additional small cabin behind the second set of doors, but not this one.
Hello.
The all-white and grey cabin is nice and understated, and in general this is just such a lovely aircraft to be on. Every seat has direct aisle access and there isn't a bad seat in the house. It's pushing midnight now here in Helsinki, and I'm looking forward to getting my dinner and a sleep. Cheers. Singapore is 5,756 miles from Helsinki, and the flight takes us about 11 hours to complete. It's really late, so service is once again very prompt. But before we have dinner, let's take a quick look at the seat. These are reverse herringbone cirrus seats, and they're as good now as they were when they were introduced several years ago. There are no serious weaknesses to the seat. Storage is clever, there's more than enough space to move about, it's pretty good in bed mode too, and there are enough charge points to satisfy you. Finnair is the only airline flying direct from Helsinki to Singapore, and the business class product on the A350 is streets ahead of the older model you saw in the previous video on their A330 aircraft. The table is also pretty good, folding out nicely and moving slightly of course to allow you to exit when it's loaded with something. Finnair brands these very late Far East flights as having a midnight menu, which implies the meal might be a snack or something quite light. I suppose that's one of the benefits of having a good restaurant in the lounge. You don't need to serve huge meals on very late flights. This was an excellent light dinner with beautiful fish. Fish can be pretty hit and miss on airplanes. I honestly couldn't fault the food at all, and the pickles on the side were a great accompaniment. Finally, the passion fruit and mango tart at the end was superb, really sweet and a terrific finish to a very good meal. One of the things I really liked about the entertainment system is the interactive wayfinding with cities that you pass over. It's a bit like travel inspiration on the move. Oh, and as well as a good selection of entertainment, there's a handy guide to the service flow on the flight, which is helpful for setting expectations. Not everyone in business class flies it all the time, and this is good for infrequent flyers. This flight takes about 11 hours, but as it departs so late and arrives in the evening in Singapore after 5 PM, having a short sleep is actually fairly sensible, or you'll be totally jet-lagged in Singapore. The best way I find of regulating your body clock is to actually look into the daylight, even just for a bit. A few cups of tea and a few TV shows later, and I was pretty awake, and looking into that sunshine is important. Imagine being in this darkness until you're 10 minutes from landing. Landing is at just after 5 PM. Anyway, another hot towel down, and the second meal service is breakfast, served at 4 PM local time Singapore. It was great actually, it's just not perfect to have a breakfast so late in the day. Oh, and before I forget, here's Finnair's rather beautiful Marimekko amenity kit. A different one to the one I had on the New York flight, and this one is a really striking design. Overall, a really solid experience. Finnair is a splendid airline with great ground services and a fine business class product on the A350. It would be great if they introduced Dine on Demand or something similar on these strange routes where not everyone will want breakfast or dinner at a set time. This really helps you adjust to your desired time zone. But aside from that, this was a great flight and an experience I'd definitely repeat. Visit surfshark.deals/wingingit for 83% off and 3 extra months for free of Surfshark VPN. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.